are in, Marty. Just a general comment at the moment. Roscommon are more than matching Galway in the middle of the park. The sign of Galway's trouble there is the fact that they have brought in big Kevin Walsh into the middle of the park.
The break is there for Roscommon. They can hold on to it. It's Clifford MacDonald. As Galway have to try and regain control and authority at centre field. Good run by Cox, but perhaps taking too much out of it. Managed to get it away. Picked up by Paul Noon. Roscommon are through here. If they can finish, they can. It's right corner back, Dennis Gavin. The game of football has evolved so much that once upon a time it would be unheard of for a corner back to score a point. But in this modern game, positions mean very little. And here, it was Dennis Gavin that had the chance to take his point, and the right corner back did it brilliantly. Great running by Roscommon, so many options. And the kick out comes straight to Stephen Lohan. They're on a roll on foreign soil, these Roscommon boys. Conor Kennelly looking for the support outside, not readily available. Cuts it across, but there's certainly nobody there. And Galway have to build again. Little push from John Donlan on Dennis Gavin was spotted, and the referee will bring play back. As Alan Kearns and John Donlan play away, the referee is still blowing his whistle. He must be concerned because he's thrown in a few of his big aces like Kevin Walsh, and so far the response hasn't been forthcoming. And Martin Raftery is down again, and this is a problem for Roscommon because of the injury crisis. They don't have a ready-made supply of cornerbacks. Seems to be an ankle problem. And he goes back to his position. Happy Roscommon people in Tuam. Clifford MacDonald feeds Fancy Graham. The ball is low this time. Well won by Gary Cox. Feeds Clifford MacDonald. Will he try for a point? It's floating, but it's gone almost to the right. It is now officially. And remember, Galway have wind advantage. Roscommon are introducing number 22 to be taken off, and Martin Raftery seems to be unable to continue. John Tobin is calling Raftery off as Roscommon make a switch in their defence. It looks like Ronan Owens over there that's ready to come on. Ronan Owens is the player that's coming on from Strokestown. Normally plays full-back or cornerback for his club.
In general at the moment, Galway are finding it very difficult to get the ball around the middle of the park, and Roscommon are going in waves through their half-back line.
Joe Berga. Confirmation of the substitution there. Ronan Owens coming on from Martin Raftery. Here's the danger man for Galway, Corey Joyce. Jersey pulling from John White results in a free. And Corey Joyce undoubtedly has the beating of the full-back, but supply certainly has been cut off around centre field.
Very much so. In the second half, it's dried up completely.
Here's John Donlan. Very difficult for him. Cuts this one in and sends it over the bar for his second point. 2 attempts out of 3 isn't bad for any corner forward and for any free taker. That's what John Donlan has achieved so far. 2 points between the teams. The break, they're waiting for it, Roscommon. This time it was John Hanley. Up towards Jerry Lohan. Gary Fahy was fouling, and that's another free for Roscommon.
Jerry Lohan's getting out in front of Gary Fahy all the time. He's beating him to nearly every ball in the second half.
So once more, the free-taking responsibility rests with Jerry Lohan. He's had 2 recent attempts and missed. Now, whether or not his confidence has in any way been affected, let's see. Goes this one well wide.
Yes, that's certainly the second one from a place ball he's missed in the second half, and he missed one in the first half as well. And if they lose the game, they'll certainly rue those. And it's just surprising that they haven't handed over the free-kicking responsibilities to Nigel Dineen.
I'm sure it's something that John Tobin may consider now. Oh, beautiful to watch. Seamus O'Neill, great fielding. Down towards Nigel Dineen. First good ball in towards the corner forward. He needs the support outside. It's not coming fast enough, and that's a free for taking too many steps with the ball. John Tivoli to take the free. The target is Corey Joyce. Dennis Gavin holds onto that ball. Feeds Fergal O'Donnell. Not a good ball for Nigel Dineen. It should be easy enough for Richard Fahy. He's fouled down there, and that's going to be a free to Galway. Under pressure, Kevin Walsh. Severe pressure. Manages to get it by Sean O'Donnell. The ball intercepted by Kennelly. That's great work by the wing forward. And here comes Gary Cox once more. And wins himself a free, but that's wonderful play by Kennelly.
Very much so, but the tackling of the Roscommon team, they're tackling in 2s and 3s all the time. Just look at O'Donnell gets the ball, Kennelly gets the hand in, dives in, wins a ball that he shouldn't have won. And that typifies the Roscommon team throughout the second half. Their spirit is immense, and they're absolutely blitzing Galway off the field at the moment.
Come on, Rocky, come on, Rocky, come on!
Apparently no change in the free taker. Lohan takes it off his hands, and this time he's successful. And Roscommon rejoice. Could it be possible that Galway, All-Ireland finalists, National Football League finalists this year, be going into the All-Ireland qualifier draw tonight on the Sunday game? Is it possible? It wasn't part of the script, I can assure you. Here is Ronan Owens, Stephen Lohan, John Hanley. These Roscommon boys are hungry for success. They're going about their work intelligently, and they're just so unfortunate here that it hits off the post. It's Jerry Lohan once more. Crossfield ball, Galway standing up. The reason is because there was a double bounce, and Roscommon lose possession. Free to Galway. John Divolis, normally a good distributor, loses it this time to Seamus O'Neill. Francie Graham. Roscommon willing to hold possession. Nigel Dineen. Galway amazingly standing off them. What a great ball into Stephen Lohan, and there's a point for Roscommon. Galway look dead, but by no means finished, but they just seem to be so slow. But full marks to Roscommon. They're all over the place.
Well, that's the score of the match. Dineen held the ball up there, looked up, saw I think one of the Lohans making a run on the far side of the pitch. Just look at the quality of that crossfield pass. Got the ball, Stephen Lohan, and put it over the bar. Super score.
Absolutely brilliant play by Roscommon, and Lohan has made an impact since being introduced. Centre half back John Divoly is gone off, and it looks like Ray Silk is the player that's on. It is Ray Silk. Seamus O'Neill. You'd travel miles to see this sort of high fielding. Gaelic football by Roscommon is very enjoyable.
Very much so. I mentioned him before the match as a young fella who was making his debut. He was worth watching. I saw him in an under-21 game against Mayo this year, giving an absolute... Just look at that for a catch. Yeah, I think he went over in his ankle before Jal landed on him.
There's confirmation of the substitution. Ray Silk is on, John Dibley off. But Galway look to be static. They're not moving. They're not even defending well.
Right throughout the second half, they had a problem around the middle sector of the field. They have not been able to get the ball beyond it, with any quality or with any degree of sufficiency to get it into Porrick Joyce, who was so dangerous in the first half.
And Seamus O'Neill, who is under 21, not alone this year, but next year as well. As Ray Silk is in your picture at the moment, waiting for this free. Galway making further changes. Sean O'Donnell is going off and Lorcan Colleran is coming on.
It's like many times when the underdog is being put down so much, certainly it's the underdog who comes up with the spirit and the passion, and Roscommon have come up with those two ingredients today. Spirit and passion have absolutely blitzed Galway off the pitch.
There's confirmation of the substitution. Lorcan Colleran is on and Sean O'Donnell is gone off. But Roscommon have been waiting for this, Martin, since 1998. They really felt they had the beating of Galway.
Yes, and so many of us, of course, didn't give them a hope, and that certainly motivates them all the more.
Here comes Nigel Dineen. Back to Jerry Lohan. Calling outside is Fergal O'Donnell. Roscommon dominating this game now. Back to Stephen Lohan. And there's another wonderful score. Galway, National League finalists, All-Ireland finalists, have absolutely no response to this wonderful display of football by Roscommon. Stephen Lohan's second point since being introduced. These young people travel to this county Galway venue, not that confident, more hopeful. But I felt in the dressing room that Roscommon were really up for this game. Can Galway respond? 67 minutes played in this game. Sean O'Donnell goes forward, pumps it into Joyce, the one man who could save Galway. This time the pace of the ball just a little bit too much, and that's going to be a free to Roscommon. John O'Mahony, Pete Warren and Stephen Joyce have an immediate consultation. They need to do something, but what can they do? They've thrown in Kevin Walsh, they've thrown in Lorcan Colleran, they've thrown in John Donlan, Ray Silk. All the big names of Galway football have been on the field or are now on the pitch. Some holding by Seamus O'Neill. Kevin Walsh to take it. In towards Porrick Joyce. Fergal O'Donnell is back there to cut out the supply. Francie Grehan, who's adapted so well from centre-half forward last year and for the last couple of years to centre-back, thus giving this man a room at centre-half forward. Hanley almost loses possession. Gary Cox, surely he should have been in from the beginning because his contribution has been immense. This pass intercepted by Kevin Walsh comes to Michael Donlan. The tactic of fouling him inside his own half of the field certainly worked. Here's Galway now. Jeff Fallon waiting for Alan Kearns to arrive. Galway go forward, not running in their usual manner off the ball. It's still Jeff Fallon. Joe Bergen to lob this in. Derek Thompson. They're all in form in Roscommon. Ronan Owens feeds Conor Kennelly. He's the right half forward, remember. Joe Bergen can't stop him. A team effort to actually stop him, I must say. And here comes the long ball over towards Jerry Lohan. Gary Fahy deemed not fouling this time by the referee. Here's Kevin Walsh. It's pulsating, it's exciting in tune, but it wasn't supposed to happen. Kevin Walsh down towards Porrick Joyce did well to keep it in. No running off the ball except from a right half back called Declan Meehan. Carrying the ball, surely taking too many steps. Referee says no. Jeff Allen, jersey pulled, and that is going to be a free. But they're making a lot of hard work to try and make inroads. 3 minutes left in injury time, in extra time. And amazingly, Galway haven't scored since the 59th minute of this match. We're now into injury time. John Donlan to take the free.
Yes, but we must credit the tackling and the work rate of Roscommon. It's immense throughout the entire second half.
Third point of the game for John Donlan. An amazing scene for John Tobin, a native of Tuam. He lives just down the road. A Galway man true and true, and here he is leading Roscommon to an amazing success. A success that will deprive Galway of a chance of winning 3 Connacht titles in a row. Who wrote this script?
Well, certainly, I don't know who wrote it, but Galway looked dead, looked very, very tired out there by comparison with Roscommon. It looked so lively and full of energy.
Paul Noon. And they're running at Galway again. John Hanley. Seamus O'Neill just took his eye off it for a moment, and it's Joe Bergen that comes away with it, who is fouled. Michael Donlan will give it long, I'm sure, up towards Pádraig Joyce. Punched away this time, but coming through. Can Galway get back into this match? Alan Kearns feeding John Donlan, but that is well wide. Well wide. 4 points between the teams.
Yeah, certainly points are no good to Galway at this stage. That ball needed to be worked through. I see Pádraig Joyce berating John Donlan for going for the score. Probably should have given it short.
Certainly in terms of chances, Galway have had 29 chances, taken 14. Roscommon have 28, taken 14. A very even contest, but on the field it must be said that Roscommon look by far the better side. Easily intercepted by Roscommon, that seemed to be running all over the place. A ball aimed at Jerry Lohan. Conor Kennelly is in support of him. Still Lohan, who'll hold possession in the corner now. Putting it across for Stephen Lohan. Sliced off his boots. Kevin Walsh underneath it. So too Tomas Mannion. But it's John Hanley that actually has possession. That's going to be a hot ball, I'm sure. Referee won't allow that free to be taken quickly, as there's a Roscommon man down on the deck. Brendan Gorman blows the whistle. Roscommon, amazingly, have beaten Galway in their own backyard. The red hot favourites, All-Ireland finalists 2000, are knocked out of the Connacht Championship in sensational style. This was no fluke. This was done with class performances by more than 18-19 Roscommon players. They have waited 3 years. They felt they should have beaten Galway in '98 when Galway went on to win the All-Ireland. But today, there is absolutely no doubt whatsoever who deserved to win in Tuam. The answer is resoundingly one team. The men from Roscommon, full-time score. Roscommon 2-12, Galway 14 points.
Roscommon team. Tell me about these guys as footballers and as men.
Well, they're good footballers, you know, but I thought they showed good character today. It was a very hard task to come here to Tuam, as you know, because I've been from Tuam regarded as being the home of football, to be honest with you. But they've done that throughout the year, particularly in the second half of the league, and I'm really delighted for them because they have worked extremely hard since last October, and you know, this is, at least it's some compensation for all that work. But I have to say, Jimmy, I feel between a rock and a hard place because I've a great affinity, as you know, for the Galway team and a great rapport with Jay and some of the lads that I coach. So, you know, whilst I'm absolutely thrilled for the Roscommon lads, it's tinged with a little bit of regret for the Galway.
Yes, but you had a job to do, John, and you did that job. The story of this game, I think, John, will be the sheer power, really, and you know, the majesty of the Roscommon performance. Even this was real football.
Well, it was really, and I think that it was encapsulated in a statement that Sean Moore in the Irish Times, he said, the body is weak, he said, but the spirit is strong. And it just shows a bit of spirit there.
Now, tell me about this young midfielder you've produced. He will be the talk of the country tonight and tomorrow.
Well, we have nurtured him along all year. He's a minor. I think he's not 19 yet. We have nurtured him all year long. Really, to be honest with you, we were hoping this would be his derby, and it was. But I hope there's a long future for him, Seamus O'Neill. He's a fantastic footballer.
It could just be, John, that you could meet Galway maybe later on in the year.
I don't know, Jimmy. I certainly hope Galway will progress. I've no doubt they'll progress. They were missing two jewels today, really. Let's not forget that now. They were missing Derek Savage, and they were missing Paul Clancy, and they were missing a third jewel that people don't know about yet. But I think it's going to be unfolded as the year goes on. Matthew Clancy. So,
well done, John. Congratulations. Job superbly well done.
Thanks very much, Jimmy. Thank you.
Second game, wouldn't like to bet on it, says the Tipperary Star back page, quoting their old manager Nicky English. We will need, he says, to have a